Well, welcome back, everybody, to Love versus Hate. My name is Anne, and I am your typical nerd.
And I'm Emily, and I am your mainstream millennial.
And on this podcast, we like to debate about the things in life that we truly love and hate.
And also in this podcast, we have a special guest. Can you hear her? It's the dishwasher.
I had no idea where you were going with that. I was like, we do. This is news to me. We also have a cat, and we also have an oven. And
speaking of an oven, we're filming in Anne's apartment, which we normally don't film here. So we stopped at the grocery store. We got some pizza bites. What are they called?
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. And you know what kind of person Anne is? I'll tell you.
Oh, no.
She is the kind of person that preheats the oven, doesn't wait for it to be preheated, puts the food in the oven before it's preheated, and then doesn't set a timer. What kind of a person does that?
Okay, I can understand the timer bit because, yeah, you know, we all forget things. But, like, I keep an eye on the clock. And also, what is the benefit of having it preheated? I mean, it just takes longer to cook.
Because
you put it in right away.
Because then your time is all off.
Yeah, but I don't keep track of time anyway, so it doesn't matter for me.
Well, if when you take those pizza rolls out, if they are not heated fully through in the middle, I know why.
So that's
and
the
it's
benefit.
Because of Anne.
The benefit of putting them in when the oven is preheated and at the right temperature is you get it fully cooked through and it's not cold in the
because
middle.
It heats. That's just the way you're supposed to. That's the way it was designed. It was designed to preheat the oven, so the oven is at the specific temperature that it's supposed to be at to heat the correct food, and then you're supposed to heat it for an allotted amount of time. That's just how the world works.
Are you going to eat the pizza rolls once they're out of the oven?
Yes, I'm going to eat the pizza
rolls. Well, then
rolls.
does it matter?
I hate the way she does that. But anyways, what else do we want to talk about before we get into our topic, which, by the way, is talking about a movie that Anne loves that I have never seen before.
And I am so excited for her to see it. But before we get into it, we mentioned we're in my apartment, so if it's a little echoey, I apologize, but I'm poor and I'm single and I don't have many things in my apartment, and neither does my roommate, so.
But she has a cat.
But I do have a kitty, which you may or may not hear at some point. But we also, fun fact for the day, we did something kind of fun at work, because, you know, we like to try different things to keep us creative and our brains energized. And Emily, you're distracting me. What, is it because she was soft?
No, it's because the cat was by me, and usually cats hate me. Oh. I was like, OMG, she loves me.
Wait, okay, just to clarify real fast. Is that why you don't like cats? It's just because cats don't like you?
Yes. I don't like cats because cats don't like me because they are evil. Like,
no, they're not.
They like to hurt me. Haven't I ever told you this? When I was little, I tried to play with my grandma's cat, and she scratched me. And when I was in New York on a family trip, their kitten, like, attacked my foot and made me step on a nail.
Aww.
So I had to walk through, like, Times Square with, like, a hole in my foot from stepping on a nail, basically.
Oh, my gosh.
Because cats are evil. Sorry, Nim.
Oh, well, my cat's not evil.
She hasn't been evil to me yet, so I don't hate her.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Back to work. And not working.
Yes. So we decided to look at some, what are they called? Magic eyes, I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
They're like those things, it's not an optical illusion, it is, but not like what you might traditionally think of. It's those patterns that are usually really colorful, and it's just like one image or a couple images repeated like over the whole thing, and it just looks like a pattern to me. And we were looking at it, and our coworker, she was looking at it and she's like, oh, it's a dinosaur who's holding the world. And we were just like, what? And she's like, yeah, and she's pointing out like the outlines, and then we'd flip to a new image and she'd be like, oh, it's a woman lying down. And she just knew immediately, she saw it immediately.
And none of us saw anything. We were like, are you making this up? And so then I started making things up, and she's like, no, that's not what it is.
She's like, it's a ball and it's a square. And we were like,
yeah, so please Google magic eye and take a look at them and see if you can see something. Do you have a magic eye? Because we definitely don't.
Definitely do not. We stared at that thing for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
and
but
it did not work.
Then there's also the optical illusions where there's like you see an image and it's actually two things. So like can you see both of the images or do you only see one? I'm also really bad at those. I remember in high school we had like, I don't know why we did this, but we were like looking at them and studying them in health class for some reason.
I mean, eyes are health related. Right?
And, well, I was like literally the only one who couldn't figure it out. So I just pretended. I was like, oh yeah, I see that. Like after like 5 minutes of them pretending or trying to point things out to me. And I was just like, yeah, totally, sure, I see that. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, no, I don't.
Well, our coworker also had LASIK eye surgery, so I blame that partially on it.
Yeah.
You know, she's got enhanced eyesight now.
Here comes the cat noises.
Sorry. We promise this won't be a habit, but we have a DVD because, you know, sometimes that's what you got to do with old nerd movies. They don't stream them, even though this isn't actually technically an old movie. So this movie actually was released in, I believe, 2017. Yeah, I think it was 2017. And it's interesting because I learned about it in college. I heard that this movie was coming out and I couldn't really believe it because it sounded really interesting. It's completely unique. There has never been a film like this made at full feature length. This is the first full feature length movie that was done in oil paintings.
Before we continue on, can you please check the pizza rolls?
Are you worried?
How much time are they?
It's been 6 minutes. Nope, I lied. It's been 8 minutes.
7 minutes since we started recording. See what I mean, people? She cannot be trusted.
Okay, I'm checking the pizza rolls. So yeah, the film is called, if our listeners haven't guessed yet, if you did some quick 2017 animated by oil painting, if you didn't look it up, it is called Loving Vincent.
Who's Vincent? Just kidding.
Well, I was going to ask you, Emily, what you thought it might be about, but I have told you about this film. And so tell the listeners what you know.
I don't remember Anne telling me anything about this.
I definitely have. I'm pretty sure.
But I have a horrible memory.
You do kind of. Where's your notebook, by the way?
Oh, it's in my bag.
Okay.
I'll get it out when we start watching because you know I'm going to have to take notes. I'm not going to remember anything if I don't take notes.
But what do you think it's about?
I think it's about a man. His name might be Vincent, or maybe it's about Vincent van Gogh.
I was just going to say, do you want me to pull up the cover? Because I would hope you would know who it's about by looking at the cover. Based on the cover?
I don't know what Vincent van Gogh looks like, so is that him?
Are you? Oh, okay. Okay, can we backtrack for one quick second? We, back in 2018, did a competition where we painted pumpkins. And, okay, correction, actually, we were supposed to carve pumpkins, but someone painted hers. She painted it the Starry Night painting. Do you know who painted that painting?
Yes, I know who painted that. That doesn't mean that I know everything about Vincent van Gogh.
Okay, well.
It just means that I like Starry Night, and I wanted to paint it on my pumpkin. And also, correction, it was not a pumpkin carving contest. It was a pumpkin decorating contest. Emily
won, if you couldn't tell by my slight... I don't know what to call it, annoyed tone, upset tone.
I won $100 to a restaurant, so suck on that. I bet all the stuff in their oven was preheated properly.
Oh man, this is gonna be for the whole thing. So anyway, Loving Vincent is the movie we're gonna be watching. I absolutely love it. So I told you that I had heard about it when I was in college, and it was one of those things where it kind of seemed like, you know, it was going to take years to make, and I didn't think I'd ever really have a chance to see it. And if I did, it would probably be by some, you know, illegal streaming site or something, because I didn't think it was going to be something I could see ever in theaters. Mm-hmm. But one day I used to work at a movie theater, and my boss was telling me about the shows we were going to be putting up for the next week. And she's like, oh, I had to switch some things around because we're getting this Loving Vincent. And I literally screamed in her ear because I had been following.
Ouch, that would have hurt.
Yeah, I felt really bad. She jumped. She got a little scared. But I had never thought that I would have ever, seen the film, let alone seen it in theaters. So I was really excited. I saw it the very first showing we had. It was amazing. I fell in love. It's really good. I highly recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it, watch the trailer. Just go on YouTube, look up Loving Vincent trailer. I do recommend watching that first because it is a very different stylized kind of film. It's extremely unique and it's not necessarily for everybody. If you watch the trailer and you just decide, nope, I don't think I could sit through a whole movie that looks like that, I understand, but I'm gonna force Emily to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I was a film minor, so I appreciate watching different types of films, so we'll see.
And and I think you'll appreciate this one. Even if you don't love it, you can at least appreciate it, because like I said, it is the only one of its kind. There has never been another feature-length film made entirely out of oil paintings, so.
Well, that's pretty interesting. That's intriguing. That is beguiling. I saw that word on the front cover of the...
Oh, I was so impressed. I was like, wow.
So how long is this movie?
I will look on the back because
I'm not. Do I have to endure this hatred? Just kidding.
Oh, here we go. Official selection, Tellerud Film Festival 2017. Okay, so I said 2017.
Yeah.
Good. I'm good. I'm so good.
I think it's an hour and 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's a little over an hour, but it's not crazy
So
long.
is there a story, or is it just like this guy walking?
So it is a narrative. It's a narrative retelling of Vincent's life. It follows one of the characters who learns about his suicide, and he has a letter from I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes. He has a letter, I believe, from Vincent to his brother. That's it. He has the final letter of Vincent's that's to his brother. So he tries to find his brother to deliver this letter. And in this, as he's going through this journey, he's kind of starting to figure out and ask questions as to why did Vincent commit suicide in the first place? Like, what happened? So it's narrative and it's a drama. It's not like a documentary style, but it goes over the course of kind of his whole life. And we kind of through him making these discoveries and asking questions and talking to people who knew him, we're learning about Vincent's life.
Okay, so this actually does sound really interesting. I guess I didn't know that Vincent Van Gogh committed suicide.
You didn't know that?
I don't really know anything about. Is this the guy who cut off his ear?
Yes.
Okay. I know one thing.
I'm excited because you're going to learn a lot about his life.
I am actually. I'm kind of excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Also, I just remembered something that I wanted to say in the intro, but it's not the intro anymore, but I'm still going to say it.
I mean, it's fine. Just go.
So a couple episodes, or maybe it was an episode, I don't know how many episodes back, when we were talking about our celebrity episode.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, Jenna Fisher, I still love you even though you didn't reply to my Instagram story where I tagged you, because I know that you're really busy making bread and being obsessed with tiles. It's fine.
This is going to become a bit where every episode you record a small section, put it up on your story, tag Jenna Fisher, and we'll just go until Jenna Fisher responds.
Everyone who's listening, go to Instagram and tag Jenna Fisher and tag me and be like, help Emily find Jenna, or help Jenna find Emily.
Much better.
Just kidding, don't do that.
We should form a hashtag. What's our hashtag? Hashtag
Emily loves Jenna.
I like it. Okay, we'll roll with it.
Yeah. So
I did finally, it took me a good hot minute, but I did finally find on the back of the DVD case, it's 95 minutes.
All right.
It's about an hour and a half.
I noticed that we're almost at 16 minutes and it's making me nervous for the pizza rolls. So I think we're gonna go watch the movie Loving Vincent and eat our pizza rolls, and we'll get back to you on if I think that they live up to the standards of a normal person using an oven. So we will be back.
Everybody, we just finished Loving Vincent, and Emily has 2 pages of notes.
2 pages and some photos, not photos, drawings.
Drawings. And Emily, tell me about what you saw and your thoughts.
Overall, I liked it, except I thought it was really confusing because there were so many characters and I couldn't keep track of them all. And at the very beginning, I thought that it was very important to really be focused, and I wasn't really focused because I got a phone call, and then Anne was like, "That's a painting. That's a painting. That's a painting." And I was like,
Well, I thought it was important for you to know, like, they incorporated a ton of his work into the movie.
yeah, but then I missed on like
Things that were happening.
who the main dude was. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And like his dad, I thought that it was his brother and his dad, but it wasn't until like 45 minutes into the movie. That's when I learned.
The postman had sent his son.
Yeah. I want to start at the end of my notes, sort of. I want to start at the timeline of his life.
Okay, yeah. Let's just give the listeners a little rundown a little bit.
Yes. So first, did he cut his ear off and then he went to the asylum?
I actually am not 100% sure about that. I believe so.
Yeah, because they didn't really like say anything about cutting his ear off except for in the beginning when he like gave it to some lady in a napkin, and that's pretty much all they said about it, I feel like.
I'm pretty sure that was the reason they sent him to Dr. Gachet, was because they knew there was some kind of mental illness.
Yeah. So, okay, that's the timeline. So, cut ear off, went to asylum, then he got out and lived with Gachet or Gachet or whatever his name is.
I believe it's pronounced Gachet.
Okay. And then he...
Of course, I don't pronounce Vincent van Gogh correctly,
Yeah.
so it's Van Gogh.
Yeah, it's Van Gogh. I was very disappointed that I've been saying his name wrong for my entire life.
I know, but I see my thing
everyone
is
does.
Everyone does, and you almost sound more weird saying it correctly.
But
And
that
also-
just means that you know more. You're like, excuse me, it's Van Gogh.
Yeah. And I also don't know if I'm fully pronouncing. I'm pretty sure that's how you would say it, is Van Gogh.
Yeah, it is. I
Okay.
wrote it down.
Okay.
I spelled it out.
Voggff, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. So then after he got out and lived with Gachet, then he for some reason lived at the Girls' Inn.
Well, he never lived with Gachet, as
thought
far
he
as I
lived
know.
there.
He went there. He might have stayed there for like a weekend while he was finding a place to stay.
Oh.
But he would stay there a lot and work with the doctor because the doctor was helping him with his mental illness. But he would sleep and stay at the inn.
Okay. So, okay, and then within that 6 weeks or however long they said it was, then he supposedly shot himself and then died.
Yes. He was shot and then died 2 days later.
Okay. So, okay, cool. I got my timeline kind of right.
Yeah, I think so.
Proud
as far
of
as I
myself.
know, yes. Yep.
Okay, back to the first page. Oh, a couple little quotes that I liked. I'll just do a shout out for those now. Possibly Vincent's last words were, "Maybe it is better for everyone."
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, that's so sad.
I think that's really sad. So I just kind of want to talk briefly before you finish with your quotes that there is this debate about did he actually kill himself or did somebody shoot him? Emily, I want to know what you think.
I definitely don't think that he was trying to kill himself. I don't think he shot himself.
Okay.
Because as the
Investigation. The guy was like doing his investigation or?
the doctor, the other one.
Oh,
What
the
is-
medical one who like
Yeah.
examined him? Yeah.
Yeah. He basically just said everything that I was thinking, and he's like, if somebody was committing suicide by gunshot, nobody would shoot themselves in the stomach, and he wouldn't have been able to do it at that angle. Like, you wouldn't shoot yourself in the stomach if you're trying to kill yourself. You would shoot yourself in the chest, or you would shoot yourself in the head. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
But, so I agree. I wrote down, was it a suicide? The doctor came and didn't do anything.
It also gets confusing because there were the two doctors. There was Dr. Gachet, who is the man treating him for his mental illness, while there was also like the medical doctor who examined him after he was shot. And I don't know that doctor's name.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it definitely got confusing.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that Dr. Gachet,
Gachet.
I
think that's right, yeah.
Dr. G.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was just like the mental illness doctor.
Yeah.
At first, like when he came and visited him, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, help him.
Oh.
But still, he could have done something. He could have like contacted his other doctor friend.
Right, which is what the woman at the inn was saying. She's like, he was a military veteran. He like, I don't know if he was a doctor in the military, but he knew medicine. He went to school for medicine. Something. He could have potentially done something. And again, I also am not 100% sure how accurate this film is. I know it's probably very close, but for the sake of drama and for the sake of a movie and a narrative, they may have, you know, taken some liberties here and there. So I don't know how accurate like the exact timelines are and exactly how characters responded to things. So that's what makes me skeptical, as if he actually was shot or if he committed suicide, because as much as I've read a lot of the historical documents and historians say that he committed suicide. So I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit on the fence, because I'm not sure, like I said, if the movie portrayed it correctly.
Yeah.
And also the medical doctor who was saying that, you know, how could he have shot himself in the stomach? And also, yeah, like you pointed out, like, why shoot yourself in the stomach? He was kind of a little nutty.
Yeah.
he wasn't like, I don't know how sound of,
I did write, love the physician. He didn't shoot himself.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, did Renee do it? Did the doctor's wife? Or I don't think it was the wife.
The housekeeper.
I think the housekeeper. Did the housekeeper do it? Did Dr. G do it? Will we find out? And then at the end I wrote, was it Theo?
Oh, I definitely wasn't Theo. Theo wasn't there.
That we know of. Why did he kill himself?
We've been listening to too many crime podcasts.
Did he kill himself? Did Theo kill himself?
No. Theo, I don't know what he had. He had some kind of disease that he had been ill for a while, and he was not.
That's what they say.
Well, he's just gonna be the skeptic this whole time.
Theo's got some sort of in with the historians, and he wrote a letter, and he was like, "Hey, I actually killed Vincent. Please tell everyone in the future that I had this disease and that I died.
And
thanks, bye."
Vincent killed himself because it'll make his paintings that much more valuable.
He was like, "Hi, how are ya?"
This is Theo.
So yes, okay, let's see. Yeah, because there was another quote. How does a man go from absolutely calm to suicidal in 6 weeks? I mean, he did have mental illness.
Right, and he did cut off his own ear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was another question. Why did he cut off his ear? I have so many questions.
And I don't know enough to say. I haven't done a ton of research into it, but Vincent was mentally ill. Like he did cut off his own ear, and he wasn't, I mean, there was a reason he was talking to Dr. Gachet. But what confuses me is that, like, there were signs that he was getting better and that he was improving, but then he commits suicide.
Supposedly. Also, I wrote such a sad life because his parents' firstborn son, well, not born, sorry.
Stillborn, yeah.
They named Vincent, and so then he obviously was named Vincent, and he felt like he never lived up to his parents' standards because there's always going to be like their first son that they could have had.
Right, and their first, like, I want to know what, in my mind, I would never imagine, if I had a stillborn, why would you name your second child after the stillborn?
Yeah.
Like, they're separate people, and that seems strange to me, but.
Yeah, and then, like, the kids that were throwing rocks at him while he was painting.
Yeah, the whole town, yeah, it is sad. He definitely was not... I'm not really sure why, but he was not popular. People, a lot of people didn't really like his paintings. They didn't really understand why other people thought he was like a genius and a mastermind. And he definitely was kind of ridiculed during his lifetime and made fun of. And also only one of his paintings, which he painted over 800, only one of them was sold in his lifetime. Isn't that sad? Because if you think about, I mean, his paintings sell for millions of dollars today. And if he, and he's never going to know that the kind of impact that his life had on the art world and just the world in general, he died very young. It's sad.
Mm-hmm. Where is the Starry Night?
I believe, I would assume the Louvre, but
If it was at the Louvre, I'm going to be very sad because
I
I
could
was
easily
there
be
and
wrong.
I didn't see it.
I could easily be wrong. I just assumed because
Paris or
yeah,
France?
Paris, and also I can't imagine that particular painting is in like a private collection because it's just so famous. But I could be wrong. I'd have to look it up.
Okay. A few more quotes.
Yes,
Since
please.
I only said one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this one was powerful. I don't remember who said it. Sorry, I didn't write it down. But it says, "You want to know so much of his death, but what do you know of his life?"
It was the Gachet daughter. I don't know her first name, but that's the one who said that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes for sure. Because it's, I think, a powerful statement. Because I think a lot of people do obsess over his death, and they don't necessarily think about what his life was like and the struggles that he had. And
yeah. And not only like his death, but like so many deaths. Like you hear about like any like celebrity or like well-known person, and like if they had like a weird death or an untimely death, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to like know all about it. Like
right.
But like nobody cares about their life that much when they hear about the death.
Right, and they're just so fixated on how did they die, but why? Why would they do this? And and I would like to say, I just love this movie so much for many reasons. And one, I really like the narrative and how they tell it. They do it does get a little confusing, but I like how they jump kind of between, there's two different styles that happen in this movie. One style is Vincent van Gogh's paintings, which as was mentioned, I kept pointing them out. That's painting, Emily, that one. I tried to restrain myself, but so you have this retelling, and it's in his style of paintings, and it's really, really beautiful. But then you also have this like black and white, and it looks a little more realistic.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same style, and I like that because it's this really harsh comparison of kind of how Vincent looked at the world and how the world almost kind of looked at him. And when the world is looking at him, it's black and white. It's not colorful. It's a lot more clear and, not nearly as imaginative. And I just really like how they do that. And there's these beautiful effects that they do.
Yeah.
Like I loved the simple, like the rain. Like
I
the rain
love
looked
all
cool.
of their transitions.
The transitions were really cool.
Yeah.
Even the smoke, like when they were smoking, the smoke looked really cool. Or there's one of my favorite shots is the main character lights a cigarette and it's really dark out and his face kind of lights up and they lit his face. And it's just these beautiful effects that I think only translate in this sort of medium of painting animations.
I agree. Yeah, I wrote down, I really like the transition scenes, especially in nature. I really liked the scenes. I liked the scenes better in black and white because they seemed more real to me.
Yeah, and I totally get that.
And I appreciate the ones that are like more of the oil, like Vincent style, but I just like couldn't focus
It's a lot
on the dialogue, on the characters, and on what I was seeing.
Yeah, it's
as
a lot.
well. In the middle of the first page, I wrote "The Shining Star" because who said that about him? Somebody said that at his funeral or something. They called him the Shining Star, and I was just like, I need to write this down and put stars next to it.
I love it.
Let's see, what else do I have? I have a few more quotes, I think. Oh yeah, people think they see all sorts of things in this village, but I just thought it was like kind of relevant. Like people think that like they know everything about you and like all this stuff, but no, they don't.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially kind of in today with like social media and stuff. Like people just, I know you've made 3 posts and I know everything about your life and exactly what you're going through. And yeah, that's a good quote.
Yeah. And then I guess the last thing that I really wrote was, besides from like my notes that helped me remember who's who.
Yeah.
This was near the end of the film where the main character is talking to Dr. Gachet.
I believe it is pronounced Gachet.
Okay, I wrote it Gaiche, so I keep wanting to say Gachet.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Dr. G, sorry, I keep forgetting. I nicknamed him Dr. G.
I was going to say, we did simplify that.
I said, I wish he didn't give him the letter to give to Theo's widow.
Did you think he wasn't going to do it?
Yeah. I was like, I wrote, liars are often charismatic. Because I thought at the end of the movie, I was like, he totally did it.
Well, and I think that the movie does a good job of, they definitely kind of lean more towards, did he, like,
Was it him?
was it him? Did he actually, but I don't think Gachet was, I think maybe in a small way he might have been slightly responsible, only because of what he did say to Vincent and the fact that they had that, because they were, I think, close friends, and he really respected Vincent and his talent as an artist, and he was envious of it, really, he was jealous of it. But I don't think he would have killed him. And also, even if he had, why would he have told, and again, this is based off the movie, I don't know if this is real facts, but based off the movie, he told the main character, we had this argument, and this is the awful thing that I said, this was the last thing I said to him, or one of the last things. Like, in this argument, he said, basically, that because of the stress you are putting on your brother, you are killing him. Because Gachet knew that his brother was ill, and any additional stress, any additional worry was only going to further his symptoms and make him die that much more quickly. And he told that to, like, you're basically, the stress you're putting on your brother is killing him, which is a horrible thing to say, especially as a mental doctor talking to your patient.
Yeah.
But again, this is the movie. I don't know what happened in real life, but I don't think that he was responsible, except for in that minor way of saying that really horrible thing to him.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've been watching or listening to too many crime podcasts, which shout out to Crime Junkie Podcast. If anybody's listening who's looking for a crime podcast, we would recommend.
Yeah, Emily got me hooked on it, and I've kind of becoming to the realization that I need to stop listening because I'm getting paranoid. It's like freaking me out.
But now I'm just like, oh, he's charismatic, he's a liar, he must have done it.
Yeah. So, ultimate verdict, Emily, tell me, did you love it or hate it?
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I'm glad I watched it.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
But I didn't hate it because I really did appreciate, like, I really enjoyed getting to learn more about him, even if all of the things weren't correct. I'm interested to learn more to see if they're correct or not.
Right, to know exactly how accurate is the movie.
Yeah. I'm glad I watched this format, but I'm glad there's only one movie in this format.
No! I think I love it. It is so beautiful. Obviously it's unique. It's the only thing of its kind. And like I said, it allows for this medium and these effects to happen that I don't think other mediums could do. I mean, they might be able to, but it's different. And also you have people and artists working physically on paintings and canvases to make every single frame.
Yeah.
You know, they obviously used a computer to compile it, but you have somebody physically painting each frame, and so I think there's just a real connection.
Yeah. I would be very interested to see in the making of this movie.
Yeah, I
feel like that would be really interesting to see all the components that go into it and all the layers that go on top of each other, and it seems like, I wonder how they did it, because it seemed like they took the actors and put them in certain spots so they could paint them. Exactly,
yeah. So they filmed the actors. They kind of, basically, in a way, it was kind of like rotoscoping, where they took the live footage and kind of used it as a template to paint over, in a way. And so there were there were actors who not only did the voice, but also were able to give the sort of motions and all that kind of thing. And they did different things. I watched a brief, it was only 5 minutes, but I did kind of watch a little bit of a behind the scenes. And in certain scenes, and you can kind of tell, they would have a layering where there would be one solid background layer and they would only animate the character.
Yeah.
But then there were other scenes where if there was a camera movement and just depending on the scene and what was happening, they would have to do each individual frame. And you can easily tell when it's that difference.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know this already, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this, but Anne and I both have background in video.
Oh, yeah, I think we have.
So yeah, that kind of tells you a little bit more about us and why we are kind of interested in this different format of a film.
Yeah.
Well, especially Anne.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it, but I was interested just to like see the difference in everything. But
yeah, we both took film study classes in college, and then we work for a video production company, video agency, really. But yeah. So we work with video a lot, and so I've always been interested ever since I was a kid. So I definitely wanted to show this one to Emily because I knew it would be something she could potentially like, maybe not love, but at least like, appreciate.
Yes, I appreciated it. I appreciated the art and what all the artists did. Like, that was crazy. Props to them.
Yeah. And so I encourage all of our listeners, at least watch the trailer. The trailer is just a couple minutes. You can easily find it on YouTube. Give it a try. If you like the trailer, I highly recommend watching the whole film. But like I said, I could see, like I showed the trailer to my mom and she kind of gets motion sickness easily. And like, it's kind of, it's just a specific style. And so I understand if you watch the trailer and you're like, nope, not for me. I understand. I won't hate you. I promise.
Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
What?
She kind of gets motion sickness easily. She's watching something on a screen and it's not moving.
But you know what I mean? You watch the film, you get it. Like the style is moving a lot.
All of the different like strokes are moving.
Yeah, like she watched that trailer and was like, oh, I could never watch that movie, which is a shame, but I get it.
That was so funny. And in case anybody does want to watch the film, I don't think it's online streamable anywhere.
I don't know. I don't think so either.
It's
but
not on Hulu,
you know what?
it's not
No,
on Netflix.
Take that back. You can rent it on Amazon Prime. You
Okay.
can stream it, but you'd have to buy it and rent it.
Otherwise, if you have a library near you, that's how we got ours to watch. So
Yeah. Check out your library.
we love the library.
Or maybe just buy it.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
that's
buy
what I
it.
want to do.
But yeah, you should let us know if you've seen it, or let us know what your favorite film is.
Yeah.
And how can they do that, Anne?
You can, well, there's two main ways. You can hit us up on our social media, or you can also email us at lovevshatepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And social, we have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yes. But before we end the episode, Emily, and everybody I know we focused on my love, but next episode we'll watch one of Emily's movies and we'll focus on her. But Emily, what was your life lesson?
My life lesson is, it's not really a life lesson, it's just a quote.
Hey, I love it. Probably.
That the stars are something we get to gaze upon, but don't fully understand.
And that was from Vincent Van Gogh.
Yes,
That's
it
a good
is.
quote.
They had lots of good quotes.
Yeah. So watch it if you
also-
want to know all of the quotes.
Oh, I have a real life lesson.
Oh, I'm ready.
If you really want to focus in on a film, take notes.
That's perfect. I love it.
Okay, that's my life lesson.
Perfect.
Okay, well, we'll see you in the next episode of Love versus Hate. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.